Welcome to MMA Fancast. I'm Luke, and today I am joined by Ethan the Wolverine Goss, who I've had the pleasure of having on this show several times. Ethan, welcome to the show again.
And good, nice to be here again.
It's definitely nice to catch up with you. It's been basically a year since you last fought, and that year ago in November, you had a title shot for 247, and it obviously did not go your way. You ended up losing to Dejesus, who has gone on to do some great things and is in Bellator now. So sorry to start off with the bad news, but can you talk to us a little bit about that fight?
The fight with John?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, John's been on to do good things afterwards. I've been rooting for him every time he's fought since then. I'm happy to see him do what he's doing and get the fight in Bellator that he wants, and he deserves it. But I just didn't, man. I still can't put my finger on what happened that night. I just did not show up. Mm-hmm. Everything was off. Everything fell off when I got to the venue that day. I didn't have the right feeling. I don't know. Mm. It was just one of them nights. And I've had nights where I felt like I was invincible, and now I've had nights where I felt like I wasn't. So it sucks to say, but I mean, that's the way it goes sometimes. So, and that night just wasn't my night.
Well, absolutely. And it's always good that you can recognize that that's part of the game, part of the sport. You've been incredible, both as an athlete and somebody who loves to talk and share about MMA. And I know you have a great passion for transforming yourself and improving. So take us through the progress. And of course, there's been the coronavirus. So what's been happening for the last year? And then we'll transition into the fight you have coming up.
We've been staying busy the whole time. Our coach, Ray, owns the gym. So even when the gym had to shut down, we were sneaking in. And our other coach, Darren, was coming in. So we were at least getting, a couple of days a weekend. It was kind of nice because it was like a little break from it. Mm-hmm. We have to, forcefully be or like make yourself be at the gym. It was nice because you could just be like, oh, I'll go 3 days this week instead of 5, or you know what I mean? But we stayed busy, and Darren does a really good job of running the practices. But after a couple of weeks, he was starting to get like, I don't really know what to run the practice off of. And we don't have anybody getting ready for anything.
Yeah.
We stayed busy and just kept at it because we knew it was going to open back up here eventually. And we just been training nonstop the whole time. And then we ended up having a couple guys get fights down there in South Carolina. And so that changed things a little bit. We started getting guys ready for that. I'm actually due for my brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So we're doing a lot of messing around with that and focusing on that stuff. But, it's pretty much just staying busy, but having fun while we were doing it.
Absolutely. And now here you are ready to fight for 247 Fighting Championships, which is actually they're doing two events within a couple of days of each other. The 25th, which is the day before Thanksgiving, and then the 28th, which is the Saturday after Thanksgiving, which is your fight. And you're matched up against Ethan Hayes. So it's the battle of the Ethans, which will be cool. And talk to us about getting that match and what's it like to now have a date, an opponent, and fighting for a familiar promotion, 247. I'm so happy it's back up and running with the restrictions being lifted just enough that they're able to have an event. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, Ryan told me he was gonna do an all amateur card, and I said to him, I was like, man, you're really gonna stick me like this? You're gonna do an all amateur card and not do any pros? And he said, well, he's like, if you want it on, I might try to match you. So I was like, yeah, well, I want on. So I gave him a list of guys, and then he came back with Hayes, which I was like, I don't even really, at the time, I mean, I knew, heard of him, seen of him, but I don't really know. I know he trained with like Nick Brown and those guys. And I thought he was like 70 pounder, 85 pounder. And then I realized he's a 55 pounder and he's like 6'3" at 155 pounds. And I'm like, you think he can make 45? And Ryan said, yeah, he says he can make 45. I said, all right, he wants to do it. Let's do it. So, but he's not the first guy I fought at 145 pounds at 6'3". I fought a kid named Chase Rowden that was the same height for Gladiators of the Cage. But yeah, it's good to be. You have your eyes set on something. It's good to have a sights and target lined up. We're really just focusing on and training and doing the things we need to do to be able to get through this fight. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's good for you to be able to train with an opponent. I was thinking about training. I know in the fight with John, you appeared to have a finger injury. How's that? Is that something that healed up quick, or is it something that kind of took longer than you thought?
Not really. It's still messed up to this day.
Yeah.
But, what happened was after going back and watching the film, the fight with John, my finger got caught in the fence.
Yeah.
And it snapped like backwards. It was like shaped in a V. And like I said, that just wasn't my night that night. And that was in the first round. So my finger got popped in a V there. After they re-pulled it, they pulled it back out and set it back in place and stuff. It took a while before I could make a fist.
Sure.
Now I mean, now it's good enough to make a fist and stuff, but the knuckle's still like swollen. Like if I had like a metal wedding band or something, I could never get it over that knuckle.
Gotcha.
But like I said, it took a little bit for it to soreness to go away and stuff, but I taped it up once it started feeling good enough where I could do something.
Well, that's always good because little injuries can sometimes take a while or sometimes they improve quickly. I just had a thought, and maybe it's not the thought you want to think about, but Thanksgiving Day, you guys are going to be cutting weight. So what's your thought process? It just came to my mind. What's your thought process about that?
Well, for one, I'm mad at Ryan. Ryan asked me what I preferred, and I said Wednesday.
Yeah.
So, and then he calls me and says, I think we're going to put you on Saturday. I was like, wow, that's not only is that I have to suffer through Thanksgiving, but that's also the first day of buck season here in PA this year.
Yeah.
So now I don't get to go rifle hunting on the first day, and all my family and friends are, and I got to skip Thanksgiving. But it ain't the first time I had to skip Thanksgiving. I think it's in the last 3 years. This makes the second time.
Oh wow.
Do this, but I'm not looking forward to it. No, I'm not looking forward to the weight cut at all. But I mean, with him never coming down to 145 pounds, I'm sure he's definitely not looking forward to it either.
Yeah, it's interesting that Hayes agreed to 145 after Thanksgiving because that's going to be extra tough for him as well. Now, both of us being from Pennsylvania, I thought rifle buck season usually started the Monday after Thanksgiving.
It does. I think it was either last year or this year. I think it was last year.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was. I don't know. It was either last year or this year's the first season where they're starting on a Saturday, and you're also allowed to hunt Sundays now because they did that because hunters were complaining that ones that have to work through the week and not allowed to. You know what I mean? They don't have time, and they only get one day in the weekend to hunt, stuff like that.
Gotcha. So it's open season, I guess.
Pretty much.
But speaking of the All-Ami card, and I don't know this for sure, but I think you're probably still training with Cam Algeier. And how's that going? He is the title fight for the All-Ami card before Thanksgiving. So are you still training with Cam, and how's he looking?
Yeah, Cam is oh my God. Cam is a pit bull. Like he's tough. And he keeps getting better and better and better. I mean, obviously everybody knows he can wrestle just by watching his fights. But I mean, his striking's coming a long, long way, a very long way. But he's one of them kids. It's almost like the Khabib thing. I mean, he's one of them kids that, like, he's gonna get a takedown. I mean, if not, he's gonna try 40,000 times until he gets that takedown. But he's looking good. The kid does not get tired, and he's just tough. Like I've seen him maybe tweak something in the gym or something like that, and he won't even tell you what he did. He'll limp it off quick and then come back and get in the round. You know what I mean? But he's got a tough fight in front of his hands too with Patton. And I told him that, he asked me how it was going on or what I thought. And I said, I think it's a winnable fight for him. I said, obviously, as if you're fighting Patton, it's a tough fight. I said, anybody from that gym is going to be a tough fight. You know what I mean? That's a given. But I think it's definitely a fight Cam can win. And I think it's definitely a fight he's going to win.
Well, it's definitely one of those things in the amateur ranks where, and you've been around this game a long time, so you know that some fighters, some gyms, I'll call it a mistake, but they make the mistake at the amateur level of picking fights they always think are going to be pretty easy, and then they make it pro with a great record, and then suddenly they're meeting guys that are just at a different situation than they are skill-wise. And so I think Cam and a lot of the amateurs, and hats off to the matchmaker for 247, that Jim Mooney, my buddy, to putting together good amateur matches, because good amateur matches lead to great fights, but it also leads to good pros, So, and that's kind of what needs to happen that a lot of people don't quite understand when it comes to fighting. What are you looking? I know we're not going to get into secrets here, but you were telling me before the interview that you do feel like you've put yourself together in a different way, that you're at a different skill level, which is obviously where you need to be. So what's that feel like, or what's been changing? And of course, tell us whatever you feel comfortable saying about that. But I know you're feeling completely different these days.
I just feel a different mentality, especially than I did for the last one. I just feel, like more as a aggressive way. Skill set wise, I mean, like I said, we've been training nonstop, and it's nice to get a break from fighting and train without something to focus on, just train to get better. And, I work daily with the state champ and wrestling at 138 pounds, Caden Cassidy. I'm working with him daily, and he's going to be on the Wednesday card now, making his debut.
Wow.
His coaches came in, so we work with Division I guys. It's just everything comes together. I'm getting older. I'm getting balder. I'm getting slower, but I'm getting wiser. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a lot to be said for that you're surrounding yourself constantly with people with different skills and different talents. I'd love to get Caden on, and I'm going to hope obviously to get Cameron on. Is that all from your gym? You got 3 guys, you and the 2?
No, there's so Caden's debuting. There's me, Sydney, Cameron, Sheldon Nyhoff.
Oh.
Caden's debuting, and then we got another guy that just fought down in he fought in a card in South Carolina. He was retired, but he came back. Brad Mountain. He's more of a kickboxer.
Oh yeah.
Then he is then he is an MMA guy, and he came back and took an MMA fight.
It'll be great to see Brad Mountain. I used to call play-by-play for USKA, which is a kickboxing Muay Thai. Obviously, you would know it in Allentown. And I've seen him fight and called his fight several times. Didn't realize Brad was going to be on the card. That's a great showing for your gym. You guys are going to.
Oh well, I'm sorry, Brad's not going to be on the card. Brad, I was just naming off the fighters that we have in the gym.
Gotcha.
On the card, it'll be me, Sydney, Caden, Cam, and Sheldon. So there'll be 5.
So everybody but Brad. Absolutely.
Brad,
Gotcha. Was that South Carolina card owned by Derek Brunson? I had heard that.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Ultimate Battleground or something.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was interviewing somebody else, and they were talking about how cool it was that Derek Brunson, a current UFC fighter, was running that. Well, that is great news. And we've had Sydney on before, and we'll try to get everybody from your gym on the show to talk. It sounds like a really busy, fun time. Are you going to be cornering anybody on Wednesday?
We didn't discuss it yet, but I will be there Wednesday.
Okay.
I'll probably be helping corner someone, I imagine, but I will be there Wednesday because we got so many guys, and with Darren and Ray trying to work all, if they're not spread apart enough, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll be there Wednesday to help with cornering whoever I need to corner.
Well, on the note of Wednesday and Saturday, for everybody listening to this, tickets are limited, but they are on sale, and we will have an audience both nights. It's at the Monroeville Convention Center, which is a new event, a new location. It allows a much bigger venue to stay with the state guidelines. It's one of the reasons why they're there. So for everybody listening, you need to get your tickets online at 247 Fighting Championships for November 25th and November 28th. But we do want to get as many people in there that are allowed to be in there. So why don't you give us your last thoughts, whether it's a prediction for the fight or just your last thoughts on the fight?
You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a good fight. I like the matchup. I think he's got some skills. I know I got some skills. But I'm showing up. Hell's showing up with me. That's just the way I see it. So I'm looking to basically create carnage in there on the 28th. So, but I look forward to it. I hope he has a good camp. I hope he's healthy, and I'll see him at the weigh-ins.
Well, you've been listening to and seeing on the video, Ethan, the Wolverine Goss. Ethan, thanks so much for coming on the card. The show tonight, we can't wait to see you on the card in November.
Thank you. It was good to be here.